Okay, we're here on the final day of Romford Film Festival 2024. I'm here to talk about Nothing Goes, which is it's a long, short feature. We might get into that. Made by these two gentlemen here. If you'd like to just introduce yourselves, please, and the role in the film.
My name's Jordan-Kane Lewis. I directed, wrote, shot, edited, co-produced.
My name's Aidan James, and I played Alex, who's the lead in the film.
Great stuff. So Jordan-Kane, sorry. You had a film here last year, Touch of Vengeance, and you're back again. So it's great to have you back and to see how your career progresses. Because last year you won an award last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just remind me which one it was.
Best low or no budget feature.
Yeah. So you don't have to tell me the kind of budget that you work within, but is this a step up in terms of budget, this film, or is it around the same as the last one?
Yeah, it's definitely a step up. This was double the budget.
Okay.
Production budget, so it was about $4 or $5 grand, and then post-production probably like 500, 600 on music, because I did all the editing, the colour correcting. I didn't need to, do anything like that. But yeah, it's a step up.
Mm. So to make, would you consider it a long short or a short feature? It's 50 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it's a short feature.
Yeah.
Just because it's like a medium format of cinema that's starting to like arise, where like the short filmmakers are moving into feature film spaces. Yeah. Like Ari Aster did his first short feature, which was like 30 something minutes. But I'd say like the 40-minute mark is where you want to head for that like medium. Yeah. But yeah.
How did you find that kind of extra money this time round?
It was just the same as like savings and then trying to raise money. But unlike a Touch of Vengeance, where we had like a GoFundMe, this time we didn't. It was just a bit longer of just like planning. Right.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, to make a feature film on that kind of money is incredible. So yeah, just testament to the whole cast and crew. How did you come about the concept? Where did that come from? The actual story?
So after we went to Romford, we already filmed it, but obviously we knew about kind of like going in like the festivals and stuff. I know they were more accepting certain festivals of medium format. So I was kind of like I was doing my masters at Sheffield Hallam, and I was doing a lot of shorts, but kind of doesn't fulfil me as much. Short films, I'm not the best at short films. To make a really strong short film is a lot more difficult. Whereas I feel like I'm better at filmmaking in like a medium to longer format. So then when I was writing the film, straight after essentially the screening of we did a Touch of Vengeance, and then I was kind of like just itching to do another feature, because a Touch of Vengeance, the editing process was 4 years essentially because of COVID. So we filmed it just before COVID. Okay. And then I think we released it last year, so 3 years. Whereas this film, we shot it in January 2023, and then it was edited within 9 months. So this was like a lot quicker process. I was like, I can definitely do this a lot quicker. Shooting, planning, production. So overall, we wrote it within 3 months. Okay. And then we had it cast within probably a month or two after that. We did a few casting. Aidan came all the way down from London or Oxford, and he did like a test screening and stuff. And this is all up on YouTube, all the tests and stuff. Okay. And he was just the best person for the role. You could hit all the notes, performances and stuff. And that was the main concern, because it's low budget. If we need to rely on someone, we need to be someone who could be trusted, kind of thing, for the main role, because that's going to carry the film.
Exactly. We're going to bring Aidan in a second. I just wanted to just circle back just to something you said there. You said it. You think it's harder to make a really good short than a feature, or I think some people would probably think, they think maybe a short film is easier because it's less time. But could you want to just expand upon that?
I think short films keeping someone engaged, like especially general audiences. If you can have a really strong short film and get normal people to like watch it, that's more difficult than getting a normal person to say watch a feature and stuff. Okay. You could talk about like sales as well. Short films aren't going to sell, so to get your attention is more difficult. You're going to get more filmmakers watching that type of content or like film. Whereas for a feature and stuff, it's got more of like a people are going to
more of a natural place in the market. Yeah.
Okay. And I'd say for a short film as well, it's something that's so gripping and strong to keep you engaged, and then you remember it, because you can watch 1,000 shorts and then forget every single one of them.
I know.
Whereas so it's just one of the things. Whereas a feature, if you can get a good feature, sometimes most people are going to remember a feature because it's a long period of time, and if you don't watch features all the time, they're going to like remember what they've watched.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Aidan, how did you meet Jordan? Sorry.
So I met his dad, and then we were chatting. And his dad mentioned that Jordan was a filmmaker, and I told his dad that I was an actor. And so we said, wouldn't it be really funny if in the future I ended up in one of his films? And then, lo and behold, he was just casting. I think you were casting this around that time, weren't you?
Yeah.
And called me in for an audition and liked me for the role. So yeah.
How did you get into the character? Because obviously, as Jordan-Kane said earlier, you have to carry this kind of film. How did you get into the character itself?
Well, it was nice because I was coming from London to Sheffield, and obviously staying in Sheffield, I didn't know any of the crew or the other actors. I was meeting them all for the first time, and I feel like the character of Alex, he is kind of a little bit on the outskirts. So that dynamic kind of played in really nicely into the character.
Did you have much time to rehearse at all with some of the other actors, or?
Not really. No, I think when something's a low budget film, the idea is you don't have much screen time, so everything's got to be done quite quick. You probably.
Yeah, I was going to say we only had one day, and it was only with Stephen. So Stephen, who plays Peach, if it wasn't for him, the film probably wouldn't have come about necessarily, because he was like, after a Touch of Vengeance screen, he was just an extra in a Touch of Vengeance. Okay. He came up to me and was like, really, like, I want to push to make the film. So then I was like, the main role, it needs to be someone, like with a lot more experience and stuff. So we were able to get Aidan. But he came down for that one day and he did a script reading against him. And I separately, I did tests with Lexi and Peach and stuff. And Katie Walker, who plays Lexi, was really strong. So it was all just came together like that.
Aidan, what were some of your challenges that you faced filming your parts?
I mean, we were filming in January, and we had the shot in the sea, which was hard. We were supposed to, for that shot, the idea was we were all going to go, jump in the sea, swim around, film a load of stuff, and then when we got down there, it was so cold, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. We all got pumped up, ran in. Was in there for like 10 seconds, and we all ran out. We were like, okay, cut, that's enough. Yeah. But I mean, apart from that, the obvious challenging parts is the kind of emotion of the character was quite hard, obviously.
It's quite tense, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very intense. I think especially for Alex's character, he's kind of like a twig that just falls into this river that kind of just carries him through the film, and he doesn't really, have any part in it other than it's just all this stuff is happening to him. So, obviously, kind of feeling that emotion and, trying to add that honesty to those moments was definitely very challenging. Yeah.
For you, Jordan-Kane, we discussed last year some of your influences, and I think I follow you on Letterboxd and stuff like that. So I know how much you love film, and you're kind of like an absorber of all kind of different types of cinema. What kind of films or filmmakers influenced this newest film for you?
It was kind of like more aesthetics. It wasn't necessarily narrative, because I tried to go for something more original with the narrative. It was more like we're following a side character who would traditionally in a film would be someone who just like something bad happens to him. Like they always say, like in romance films, someone always gets like done over, like it's the ex-boyfriend, because the girl who's in the film runs off with the protagonist. But yeah, the main influence for this was Christopher Doyle, obviously cinematographer, does In the Mood for Love.
For
like cinematography and stuff, so the step printing and stuff. But it's a lot more tame than A Touch of Vengeance. And I'd say the cinematographer for Enter the Void.
Gaspar Noé.
Gaspar Noé. Spring Breakers, Harmony Green, and just because it's pop imagery and it's like filters and stuff, and I use filters on this film, and it was just to get this like overexposed early 2000s kind of look in highlights and stuff, and just wanted something colourful. I just wanted something completely opposite to A Touch of Vengeance. Whereas Touch of Vengeance is really slow paced. It's like camera's still. There's not much movement with the camera other than the fight scenes. Whereas it's like a short film called Where We Lie, and it was just like an analog horror film, but it was all like the camera's always constantly moving. And I was like, I could do this with a feature and make it look really pretty and stuff. That was like the main for the inspiration of like how it looks and stuff. And then for the narrative, I just wanted something a bit more bleak, where it would be like a 3-act structure, but in 2 parts. It was actually like 2 separate stories, a bit like Clockwork Orange, where it's like splits into 2 halves.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just meant to be like calmer, so it's like there's a duality between it, especially with the music as well. So we had 2 different artists do the music, so it's reflected in everything within the film.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry if that answers the question.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. Was there any audience questions? Pop your hand up and we'll get a microphone to you. Anybody?
Don't be shy.
Okay. What are we working on next, the 2 of you? Going to work together again? Maybe you should answer that first, Aidan. Do you want to answer that first?
I mean, look, I'd love to work with Jordan again. I mean, he's such a hard-working filmmaker, especially for your age. Like, just finish one and then straight away is straight onto the next one. So, yeah, 100%. I hope we work again on something else in the future.
I'd love to work with Aidan again. Hopefully with something where I've got like a bigger budget. But main goal at the moment is I've got a vampire film, which I probably talked about before.
Talk to everyone else.
And I've got this vampire horror film I want to do. Kind of like let the right one in mixed with ginger snaps.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like something that's a little bit different, but it's kind of like you may have already seen it before, but there's a different twist to like the vampirism within this film. But it's more about like family neglect and stuff within the home, but like not necessarily done on purpose. It's not like the dads are drunk. It's just because like he's not necessarily there. Anyway, I can't really say too much on it because it's just around the corner kind of thing.
And for this film then, what's your plans for this film? Are you starting its festival run now?
Yeah, started the festival run. We've just got onto Amazon within like the last 5 or 3 days or something. We don't have any control over it because of how distribution works. I tried to go through it independently. Amazon kind of blocked me, so then I had to go through Film Hub, and then Film Hub managed to get it on there with all the exact same material. Right. So it's really weird. It's kind of like just because I was independent, it seems like Amazon was being a bit more strict with what they were putting on the platform, but they still let the film on the platform. Yeah. We're on Amazon.
Cool. So I mean, as I said, we've been following your career since like last year, and I think you're definitely on a real upward projection. So it's great. So I look forward to the vampire horror one. I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll send it to Romford Horror.
Definitely do that. So thank you so much for joining us, guys, and submitting your film and representing it here. Can we have a round of applause, please, for our filmmakers? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.